Hey everyone, Selena here. I miss all of you. I can't believe it's been over 7 months since I've last seen everyone. We have been working so hard on this return to play plan, and we hope that this presentation provides you with more information and ease so you too feel safe returning to programs. I hope to see you all soon.
Hey everyone, I'm Allie, the Return to Play Coordinator for SOE. I hope you're all getting excited for the season. We can't wait to have you back in programs.
And I'm Courtney Lacoste, Sport Manager of Special Olympics Edmonton. We are your Special Olympics Edmonton Return to Play team, and we're here to tell you all the things you need to know about what we are doing and what we need you to do to help keep everyone safe this season.
Special Olympics Edmonton has been working hard on our return to play plan. This is a slow process as there are many factors to consider to ensure the utmost safety of our members. We work closely with our key partners to confirm that we are well within the guidelines and safety protocols they recommend. Our key partners include, but are not limited to, Special Olympics Alberta, Alberta Health Services, and the City of Edmonton. Our plans have been reviewed and approved by Special Olympics Alberta. You can view the complete return to play plan on our website or send us an email and we can email you a copy. As we are a multi-sport organization, there has been a separate plan created for each individual program. We work closely with our facilities to ensure we can host our programs in a safe environment. All facilities we'll be using this year have been approved for having a well thought out and executed return to play plan that fits well within ours. We have put additional training measures in place with our coaches and volunteers that are COVID-19 specific to ensure they feel prepared and comfortable to run safe programs. This includes, but is not limited to, coach toolkits, site visits, sport-specific training sessions, and more. Our coaches have been absolutely incredible, and our return to play would not be possible without them. Please make sure to thank your coach and give a virtual high five when you see them out at your programs. They rock. One major change we made this season, as per requested by Alberta Health Services, is implementing cohorts. Cohorts are a closed, small group of no more than 50 individuals consisting of athletes, coaches, volunteers, and one-to-one supports who participate in the same sport or activity and remain together for the duration of the program. Participants may participate in only one sport cohort per program cycle. Cohorts only participate in their own program and will not engage in events or league play with other cohorts. We have implemented additional PPE, sanitization, and social distancing measures that we will talk about later in the video. Unfortunately, competitions are still suspended until further notice. We are eager to get back to competition and will continue to update the community when we receive further information.
Due to COVID-19 parameters, we are changing the way that we are doing waivers this year. There will be COVID-specific waivers and declarations included with our SOA participation waivers. These documents will be sent to you within 14 days of the start of your program. You must fill out the waivers within those 14 days. No athlete will be able to participate unless the waiver has been signed prior to the start date. We will be tracking and sending reminders. Depending on your sport, some facilities will also require a facility-specific waiver to be signed before athletes can participate. If this is the case for your sport, it will be included with your waiver package.
This year is going to look different compared to previous years in a lot of aspects of your program, but one of the major changes is arrival and departure procedures. In order to ensure the safety of all of our participants, COVID-19 precautions must be taken to limit exposure times. In most circumstances, athletes will not be permitted to enter the facility any earlier than 15 minutes prior to program start time. This will impact your rides to and from programs, so please adjust accordingly. All parents and other members who are dropping off athletes or picking them up must do so outside of the facility at all times. There is a strict no spectator rule for the program season. Due to our small cohort size inside of the facility, we cannot allow any additional individuals into the program. The only exception to this is if the athlete requires a one-on-one support during programs. However, this should have already been indicated on your registration form. Because of the limited amount of time athletes will have in the facility prior to the start of the program, we want you to come ready to play. In our programs, there will be no use of change rooms prior to program start and very limited washroom use, so all athletes should come wearing their sport gear under their regular clothes if needed. Athletes should come with only what you need, which means no extra bags or personal belongings, and make sure to bring your own water bottle. One of the most important things for you to know is that you need to bring a mask. Every athlete needs a mask, as approved by the CDC and mandated in Edmonton. Face masks are the strongly preferred option when participating in SOE programs, but if you're unable to wear a mask, please contact us regarding your specific situation, as SOE will be mandating the masks and type of masks accepted for participation in our programs. Any refusal to wear a mask may result in dismissal from the program depending on the circumstance. Now that we have covered arrivals, once you enter the facility for your program, all participants, athletes, supports, and volunteers will be subject to mandatory screening. Athletes will be asked screening questions, which will be provided to you beforehand, but they're also visible on the screen now. We recommend helping your athlete to understand what the questions are asking should it be necessary. In addition to the screening questions, all members will be temperature checked, so just saying yes to all questions does not guarantee you pass the screen. We will also be observing symptoms. Athletes will need to bring their own mask. Anyone showing up without a mask will be provided one, but consistently showing up unmasked will be considered a violation. Most importantly, if you or your athlete are sick, do not attend the programs. Athletes identified as having symptoms upon arrival or exhibiting symptoms during the program will be quarantined to a separate part of the building. Selena will touch more on potential cases in a few slides. Athletes may be asked to wait independently, and any athlete that cannot wait independently would be considered as needing a one-on-one support. SOE coaches will contact the athlete's emergency contacts. These emergency contacts are expected to have a detailed plan in advance of the season start for arranging a safe, isolated transport home from the programs. SOE will not be responsible for transportation. For the individuals that take public transportation, you must take additional measures to ensure the athlete is not exhibiting any symptoms prior to leaving for programs. SOE does not condone taking public transit if you're feeling unwell. If you do take public transportation, we do highly recommend suggesting self-screening before your ride. For all DATS riders, this year is going to be a little different as there are no subscription bookings. You must book your ride 3 days in advance each week, or else you will not have a ride to programs. If you're exhibiting any symptoms at the time of your pickup, DATS will not allow you into the vehicle as they do their own screening prior to starting the trip. If you begin exhibiting symptoms at the program, you will not be able to take DATS home, so you will need to have a backup plan to ensure you can get home in a safe manner. If you have any additional questions or want more information on DATS protocols, please contact them directly. Regardless of your transportation method, all athletes need to have a backup transportation plan in the event they are denied access into the program. This backup plan is very important because DATS will not accept riders to take you home if you're exhibiting symptoms, and it's not safe to take public transit for risk of community spread. We highly recommend going over the screening questions on the previous page with your athletes prior to leaving for programs, and if they answer yes to any of the questions or are exhibiting any symptoms, do not come to programs. If you do not have a plan for an alternate mode of transportation, please reach out to us to discuss options and we'll help you.
Now let's talk about expectations during programs. Mask guidelines will differ depending on which activity you are participating in and the activity intensity. You will be notified by email in your sport-specific emails whether you will be required to wear your mask during your activity or not. It is the responsibility of the athlete and their supports to provide a support person should it be required for the athlete. If you have indicated yes to one-on-one support, the athlete must be accompanied every practice. Athletes who have indicated that they require one-to-one support are only permitted to bring one person with them. While we strongly recommend for the support to remain the same throughout the duration of the season, it is not a strict requirement. Please try to respect this guideline and send one person with the athlete throughout the duration of the season as their support. All supports must go through the same screening process as all other members of the program and must adhere to the same rules and guidelines. Please note that this includes if the support fails a screening at a program, both the athlete and the support will be turned away on that day. Any athlete that has not identified the need for one-to-one support is not allowed to be accompanied by anyone in the facility. Please refer to our spectator guidelines. All training will be skills and drills based. There is no gameplay, particularly in team sports or high intensity sports due to distancing measures. This is going to be significantly different than the experience that athletes are used to in a regular year. We are going to be focused on individual development and distance social opportunities for the entirety of the 2020-21 season or until these parameters are lifted. This will look different for every sport depending on which sport you're playing, but could include limited running, distance-based drills, and individual skills competitions as the only method of competition and inter-athlete play. Our general guideline to all participants this year is going to be get in, train, and get out. There will be very limited time and opportunity to socialize outside of our program time. The key to these programs is to provide a recreation opportunity in a safe manner. Recognize that this will look different than it has in the past. Athletes will screen, enter the activity area when it is time to do so. They may be asked to bring their equipment onto the activity surface with them or to store it in a locker depending on the program and access. For this year, no personal equipment will be touching, so we will have all equipment separated for each athlete. Note that eating in our facilities this year, directly before, during, or following program time, is not allowed unless medically required. Eating requires you to remove your mask and requires you to have significant space to do so in a safe manner. And it is not feasible for us to provide this opportunity for our athletes at this time. Please notify us if you have a medical requirement to eat during program time, and we will let your coach know. Distancing measures will be followed whenever possible. Where distancing may not be possible, masks are absolutely required. Where masks are not able to be worn, such as in high-intensity sports, distancing is absolutely required. You will always either be masked or be distanced, and ideally you will be both. Athletes will be required to follow distancing parameters upon arrival, departure, and between program activities. We ask that especially upon arrival and departure, where athletes may not be directly supervised, that they do keep their distance from other athletes and always wear their mask. Coaches will be masked. If they cannot be masked due to a demonstration, they will be distanced. Most coaches will wear a mask for the entirety of the program. Athletes must stay in the required area of play for the duration of the program unless they need to use the washroom. If an athlete needs to use the washroom, they will be asked to approach a coach and let them know. They always have to wear a mask and stay distanced while using the washroom. This year, there will be no touching at Special Olympics programs. That means no high fives, no hugs, no elbow bumps. We will not be giving an abundance of warning as this is a risky activity. If you are an athlete support and you believe that this may be difficult for your athlete, we recommend please discussing this with your athlete ahead of time and practicing in the weeks prior to your program start. In many sports, athletes are permitted to bring their own equipment, but it must come sanitized. There will be limited sharing of equipment, and equipment will be sanitized after each use.
In the event that a member exhibits symptoms or does not pass the screening at a program, they will be required to quarantine immediately and to return home as soon as possible. Each facility has a safe space that our members can go to until a safe ride can be arranged to go home. We will require that a member seek a test within 24 hours of the program. A follow-up will be done to ensure the test was taken. If the test has not been taken, it will be reported immediately to Alberta Health Services. Results must be reported to SOE immediately. A member will not be allowed to return unless there is a negative test result that is documented or 14 days has passed. In the event that SOE is notified of a positive case, we will notify SOA immediately. The name of the member is confidential and will not be shared with anyone other than Special Olympics Edmonton and Special Olympics Alberta staff. Special Olympics Edmonton will then notify all members in the programs, including facilities, who were present in the past 21 days. When notifying individuals, we will respect the privacy law and not be using any individual names and only indicate that someone at the program tested positive. We will then suspend the program for a minimum of 14 days from the time of the last program. If there are no further cases detected and confirmed positives, the program will resume as normal after 14 days.
You have now completed the Special Olympics Edmonton Return to Play Athlete and Support presentation. Your participation in this training will be tracked by the athlete name. Please proceed to the link shown on this page to track your participation in this training. For any and all questions pertaining to Return to Play, please email us at registration@specialolympics.edmonton.ca. We will be posting frequently asked questions and answers to our website. Please check our website to make sure we didn't already answer your question when submitting a question. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.